Welcome to Brookings, South Dakota, home to the longest active win streak in college football. South Dakota State trying to make it 28 straight wins and head back to defend their national championship. Standing in their way, UAlbany making a historic run of their own in the FCS semifinal for the first time on the back of Reese Poffenbarger, who they call their cowboy quarterback. Well, the Cowboys out west trying to wrangle the reigning champs. We've got kickoff next. Oh, the dream is alive in Brookings, South Dakota. The top-seeded, undefeated South Dakota State Jackrabbits and the 5-seed UAlbany Great Danes. A spot in the FCS National Championship game on the line. The winner tonight awaiting the winner of Montana and North Dakota State tomorrow. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us alongside Rini and Golia. I'm Jay Alter. We'll be joined by Larisha Harris down on the sideline in just a moment. Rini, you take a look at this matchup tonight. South Dakota State, the reigning champions, heavy favorites tonight, but UAlbany coming in with confidence, belief that they can keep this historic run going.
UAlbany coming off the biggest win in program history last week at Idaho. There's a saying this time of the year, defense travels. UAlbany has one of the best defenses in the country. They have to play outstanding tonight if they want to have a chance to upset the #1 ranked team in the nation.
Now, they've already upset one team in this championship run so far, and Brevin Easton was a big part of that win against Idaho.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a receiver that played better than Brevin Easton did last week against Idaho. His ability to adjust to the ball while it's in the air was tremendous. He was the most outstanding player in that game. You know, you see Poffenbarger there, avoid the sack, throw it up, and Easton is able to adjust, find it, and make the catch. Big catch after big catch in that upset win. And for South Dakota State, you know, 2 co-offensive players of the year, and one of them, that man right there, Isaiah Davis, a tremendous running back, one of the best in the nation, has great lean, runs behind his pads. And the thing that I really like about Isaiah Davis, he gets better with each and every carry. So in the fourth quarter, when those defenses are worn down, he's better and stronger.
And Davis will be challenged by the #1 rush defense in FCS, Larisha.
Yeah, that's right. They've only allowed 78.1 yards per game. Diligence up front and the ability to attack have been at the forefront of the Great Danes' defensive success. 2 playmakers leading this crew, Anton Junkaj and A.J. Simon, the 2 combining for 43 tackles for loss and 27.5 sacks this season. Head coach Greg Gattuso told me, of course, they have to utilize their playmakers tonight on defense, but they also have to handle the run and get the Jackrabbits in situations they don't want to be in, make them uncomfortable, guys.
Thank you, Larisha, and good news for Larisha Harris, who's down on the sideline. The winds of the quarterfinal, those big gusts of 25, 30-mile-an-hour winds a week ago, they are gone. It is a beautiful night for football in Brookings, South Dakota.
It was kind of a balmy, warm day today for Brookings, South Dakota. Beautiful night for football.
The winners of 27 straight, the longest win streak in all of college football, on the line in the FCS semifinal.
And we're in for a treat tonight. You're going to see one of the best offensive lines in the nation with South Dakota State and one of the best defensive lines in UAlbany.
UAlbany won the toss, deferred, so the Great Danes set to kick in white. In the top seed, South Dakota State ready to receive in blue. We are underway in the FCS semifinal. And the Jackrabbits will start with the football just past the 25-yard line. We get our first look at this South Dakota State offense led by Mark Ganowski. The junior, a Walter Payton Award finalist, has weapons all over the field. Right?
And he does a great job at spreading around. We already talked about Isaiah Davis, the running back in the open, but you got 2 twins on the outside, Jaden and Jackson Yonke. You got a good tight end in Zach Hines, and Gronkowski does a nice job of spreading that ball around to them.
Gronowski, a junior, was a sophomore a year ago who won the national championship for South Dakota State, throwing on first down, right on the money to Jaden Yonke. Those twin brothers you were just talking about, Jaden and Jackson, chances are if the Jackrabbits are throwing the football. It's going either 1 or 10.
Well, and it's a nice quick read by Gronowski there as well. He knew where he wanted to go. He saw that cushion. Quick out by Jaden Yonke, and Gronowski puts it right on him. Not having to worry about the wind on these out patterns tonight.
And Gronowski has started all 27 games of this impressive 27-game winning streak. Handing it off to Davis, weaving his way through for a first down. Isaiah Davis, a patient runner, and you see it there on his first carry of the night.
So good patience, but he still presses the hole, and then look at the footwork. Presses, starts to bounce, and then has that quickness to square the shoulders and go north and south and pick up the first down.
Davis gets the handoff again, cuts back. Getting a great push, fighting through, churning the legs for a gain of 9. Isaiah Davis going against the #1 rush defense at FCS. So far, so good.
Well, that left side of the offensive line, Garrett Greenfield, Mason McCormick, is tremendous. They're going to have opportunities to play on Sundays next year, but outside zone is one of the favorite run plays for any running back. You stretch it, and then you use your vision. You can keep it play side, you can bounce it back. That time, Isaiah Davis cut it back for the nice pickup.
Play action. Gronowski rolls right, turns the corner, has the first down, and gets out of bounds. Contact, and a flag comes in. Dylan Kelly, the star linebacker for UAlbany, shot in late. And the Jackrabbits are going to get some additional yardage here.
Yeah, clearly a late hit. You just got to hold up there. You gave South Dakota State a free 15 here. Now the line judge is talking with the head referee, so we'll see, but I agree with the flag. He clearly pushed him out of bounds, and we'll see.
First down.
Well, the fans let you know what they think. They are able to talk the white hat out of it. The referee, I thought he had it right. Let's take a look here as Gronowski steps out of bounds. Yeah, I guess they're almost saying kind of Gronowski kind of caused that contact. So, hey, listen, I have no problem with them getting together and talking, picking it up. I think that's okay.
Now the Jackrabbits on the opening drive already in UAlbany territory. 1st and 10 from the Great Danes 42. Free play, Gronowski checks it down to the freshman from Sioux Falls, Griffin Wilde.
So the question's going to be here, do you want to take 2nd and 2 or 1st and 5? So we'll see what Coach Jimmy Rogers elects to do here. I think they're going to decline it and take the 2nd and 2. Or 2nd and 1, I guess, with the spot.
There is head coach Jimmy Rogers. His first year as head coach. Was previously the defensive coordinator.
Offside, number 58 of the defense, 5-yard penalty. That remains first down.
So they did take the penalty, so we'll go 1st and 5 here.
And there's UAlbany head coach Greg Gattuso in year number 10 as head coach of the Great Danes. What a historic season this has been for Gattuso. This team was preseason picked 11th in the CAA, so picked 11th in their conference, and here they are playing in the national semifinal against the reigning champs, and boy, do they look like it so far tonight. Yonke bounced out of bounds. That's Jackson.
Yeah, good recognition by Gronowski. Get Yonke out there in that little swing. Get it to him quick and let him turn up for another first down.
The production from these twin brothers have been outstanding throughout their time at South Dakota State. Now in their senior season, looking for another national championship.
Yeah, we're recruited to play linebacker here. That's the toughness they play the wide receiver position with.
High throw. The tight end Hines hauled it in. Only a gain of 5. Let's check in with Larisha.
Talking about the Yankee twins, when I spoke with Mark Gronowski, he told me that he's lived with the twins for the last 2 years and he's seen them fight a lot. They are the epitome of my brother's keeper. They give each other so much so that Mark has to step in and they call him Uncle Mark because he has to break up the fights. But Mark said he loves the competition that he sees between the two, but again, he always has to split them up when they fight, so he's Uncle Mark.
Well, Uncle Mark decides who gets the football. Hands it off here to Isaiah Davis, wrapped up shy of the first down.
And just to wrap it up on the Yankees on this little segment here, is they're great blockers downfield as well, and that's that toughness they play with. And they'll make a 10 or 15 yard run into a 40 or 50 yard run with that downfield blocking. You'd love to see that out of your wide receivers.
Big third down test for this UAlbany defense. South Dakota State leads all of FCS in third down conversions, 54%. First third down of the night. Davis cuts back, breaks a tackle inside the 10. Isaiah Davis, gain of 12 to keep the opening drive alive.
It looked like the UAlbany defense hadn't stopped at the line of scrimmage. They had good initial penetration, but you see Isaiah Davis just hits it, keeps those feet moving, is able to slide off, find a little crease there, and pick up the first down.
The senior's vision is outstanding, and you see it on a crucial third down pickup like that. Now 1st and goal. Gronowski turns back, drilled at the 6. Joseph Greeny did well to stop Gronowski from finding the end zone there. This South Dakota State team, they know how to cash in the red zone. 96% on the season, 48 of 50.
I mean, that's an unreal stat. 96% of the time they're in the red zone, they're scoring. And that's called efficiency right there. You're gonna win a lot of games when you're that efficient in the red zone.
And 40 of those 50 trips resulted in a touchdown.
Touchdowns, yep.
That's what they want here. Davis bottled up, driven back. That's more like it for this Great Danes defense that leads FCS in rush defense. Ori John Charles got there first.
And that's what they have to do. You got to get penetration. You got to get to Isaiah Davis before he can get to that hole, press it, get to him, try to make him go sideline to sideline. That's what defensive coordinator Bill Neslick told us. We need to make them go sideline to sideline, not north to south. Well, so far this drive, they've gone north to south down the field.
Empty set for Gronowski, a 3rd and goal. Clean pocket, slings it to the end zone, it's caught! Touchdown, South Dakota State. Zach Hines hauls it in to open the scoring. What an opening drive by the reigning champs.
Offensive coordinator Zach Lujan told us in the red zone he loves Zach Hines, 6'7", 260-pound tight end. Runs a nice route to the back of the end zone, and Gronowski threw that ball before Hines made his last break to turn. The ball was right there. Excellent play.
Well, there's a reason these Jackrabbits own the largest active winning streak in all of college football. They made that opening drive look easy. Zach Hines has South Dakota State up 7-0 to start. You could not have scripted a better start for the top seed South Dakota State. Rini and Golia, Jay Alter with you, Larisha Harris down on the sideline. 7-0 Jackrabbits out
just
front.
Look at that first drive, your star players. I mean, Isaiah Davis, 5 carries, 34 yards. Gronowski goes 4 for 4 with a touchdown pass. As you just said, Jay, couldn't script a better start for South Dakota State.
So UAlbany comes into tonight a heavy underdog in this semifinal matchup. But now trailing 7-0 midway through this first quarter. Here comes Reese Poffenbarger, who leads all of FCS football in passing touchdowns. His head coach, Greg Caduso, telling us that he's a confident young man. They call him the cowboy quarterback. Well, he's got a big test going against this Jackrabbits defense.
You know, and he does a really nice job avoiding sacks. He's very active in the pocket, getting away. And he doesn't tuck it much in terms of when he looks down. If he's got a receiver, he lets it fly. You know, Coach Caduso said Cowboys are going to cowboy. We understand that. He's going to let it loose. So you're either going to get some big plays on offense, but also defensively, South Dakota State believes they can get some takeaways tonight. We'll see.
Well, the veteran head coach, Greg Caduso, has so much confidence in his cowboy quarterback. Let's see what Poffenbarger's made of here. In the first semifinal in school history, throwing on first down, right on the money. It's caught for a big gain. Julian Hicks, yards after the catch, a gain of 27.
Yeah, and Reese Poffenbarger shows you his arm strength. He's at the far hash. This is the NFL throw, deep out, and then Hicks able to beat the first defender, get down the sideline, and a nice opening play for UAlbany.
Now they bring it back to the 48-yard line. Yes, the transfer from Akron stepped out of bounds.
And we talked to replay. They said they'll do expedited reviews where they can just call down quickly and say, hey, so where he stepped out, looks like that's what they did there.
Running on first down, swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. There's a flag down in the backfield. Griffin Van Marl shot out of a cannon there.
Holding number 60 of the offense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Now UAlbany likes to run a lot of sweep plays to Griffin Waddell, sideline to sideline. So there's no doubt that South Dakota State watched that on film. They want to get penetration, and if they do that, they're going to get a good amount of TFLs tonight, tackles for losses.
Well, they got one there, 2nd and 12. Poffenbarger, pressure coming, escapes, throws on the run. It's caught, big hit, stays on his feet, Hicks. He's got 2 receptions on this opening drive and absorbed a big hit there.
And that's what I like about Reese Poffenbarger. He escapes, looks like he's going to run. He always has his head downfield. He finds Hicks, makes the catch, absorbs the big hit, and still falls forward. Excellent start to this ball game for that man right there, Julian Hicks.
3rd and 1 in what is likely 4-down territory if Poffenbarger needs it. Quick hitter, caught for the first down. Roy Alexander, who's come back for this postseason after some time on the sideline injured, with a big grab there, hangs on to move the stick.
And that's where, if you're Roy Alexander, make that catch and just keep running to the sideline. Use your speed, run to the sideline. He almost didn't get that first down. He stopped and thought, well, let me just kind of cut it up here. And then that pursuit from that South Dakota State defense gets to him, but he still picks up the first down.
First and 10 from the Jackrabbits 38. UAlbany trying to answer South Dakota State's opening drive touchdown. Poffenbarger hit as he throws, and that sail's incomplete. Went right back to Julian Hicks, who already has 2 catches on this opening drive.
Yeah, Poffenbarger knew he was going to get hit there. Stays in the pocket, tries to throw it back shoulder to Hicks. Hicks just doesn't see it and make the adjustment, and it falls incomplete. But Reese Poffenbarger is a tough customer. Stays in there, tries to duck underneath it. Was hoping his receiver would see that and adjust to the back shoulder. He doesn't, and it goes incomplete. Good pressure there by South Dakota State.
Woodell running left. Hit again. Only a gain of 1. Adam Bach made the stop for South Dakota State.
And Adam Bach is one of those players, everyone on this team looks up to him. You know, he's been battling through some injuries. I still don't think he's 100%, but he's the epitome of a middle linebacker, a Mike backer, scraping inside out. And you see the speed that time as he gets to Woodell, as Griffin tries to cut it up to make that tackle.
Third and 9. 6 on the line for South Dakota State, showing pressure. Play action. Hoffenbarger. It's intercepted. Tucker Large, the safety, steps up and takes it away.
Just very instinctual is Tucker Large. This is his 4th interception on the year. He's covering Marquise Dietz. He's in great position. Hoffenbarger throws it. Large undercuts it, makes that interception, and a huge takeaway for the Jackrabbits. Their ball on the other side.
A spot in the FCS National Championship on the line tonight in Brookings, South Dakota. The top-seeded Jackrabbits an early 7-0 lead over the UAlbany Great Danes. An interception by Tucker Large, the sophomore safety out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, gives this Jackrabbits offense great field position, looking to add to this 7-0 lead. Wildcat formation. South Dakota State running the ball on first down. Amar Johnson, his first carry of the night, goes for 7. A lot was made of this UAlbany rush defense, and they're going to have to play a lot better than they did on that opening drive.
And I talked about it earlier. This South Dakota State offensive line is one of the best in the nation, and they've heard all week how good that defensive front and defensive line is for UAlbany, so they've taken it personal. Well, right now, in the trenches, that South Dakota State offensive line is winning.
It depends who you talk to, but I think there's 3 future NFL players on this South Dakota State offensive line. Great protection here, dialing up a deep shot, and it's caught. What a grab. Jaden Yankee, flat on his back, somehow hauls in this ball for a gain of 40.
Yeah, Yankee fights back for this catch. The back judge was actually going to throw a flag for pass interference, but when he saw Yankee make the catch, he kept it in his pants, didn't throw it, and it becomes a big reception. Isaiah Duffy on that coverage that gets beat by Yankee.
And Mark Gronowski, a perfect 5 for 5 through the air to start this game. They go back to the ground game. Amar Johnson lost his footing, couldn't quite turn the corner there, no gain.
Yeah, just try to go a little outside zone to the short side of the field. Not a lot of room to work there for Johnson. Picks up 1.
Gronowski, the junior quarterback, was the reigning MVP at last year's national championship win. He has played in big games, and you feel it in this first quarter, that experience at quarterback. South Dakota State looks steady, dominant to start this game. Gronowski surveys, now going to tuck and run. Bounces outside, and he's flushed out inside the 5-yard line, gain of 7.
Yeah, and I mean, that defensive line for UAlbany has 50 sacks on the year. Just can't get to Gronowski. I mean, the offensive line is keeping them clean. Good coverage on the back end by UAlbany, but Gronowski's able to step up there and get a good pickup, get to the 3rd and 1 here.
Davis, untouched, into the end zone, touchdown.
And I talked about it earlier, Isaiah Davis, tremendous at pressing the hole, and then he uses his vision. You see those eyes? You can see it really good there with that shot. Presses, sees where the hole is, and then just bounces it to the soft spot. Squares it up into the end zone. I mean, this South Dakota State team was not happy with their offensive performance last week against Villanova. You know, I think that 40-mile-an-hour winds might have had something to do with it, but they've come out on a mission tonight.
Well, South Dakota State getting everything they want to start this semifinal. Great catch by Jaden Yankee to set up the touchdown. The South Dakota State, the top seed in this FCS championship. Semifinal action against the underdogs UAlbany, and Isaiah Davis scoring a touchdown to put the Jackrabbits up 14-0. They have looked in control since kickoff.
Yeah, it's just, you know, a very experienced team. Been here before, been here, done that. And, you know, on the field before the game, just watching the guys, had a very confident look about them, and they came out and played that way early.
Levi Wentz on the return, nowhere to go. Reese Poffenbarger will start inside his own 20. You know, it's incredible the Great Danes are even in this game. A historic season for a program that just had 3 wins a year ago, 2 wins in 2021, the year before that, and then boom, CAA champs, 11 wins. Here they are in the semifinal.
You know, we asked Coach Gattuso kind of about the program and what went on. He said really COVID crushed them in 2020, the New York State rules and what they could do with practice and the season and no season. It just really set them behind, but they're back where they need to be and playing some good football.
Now, first trip to the semifinal in program history. Griffin Woodall, the star freshman running back from Glen Falls, New York. What an impressive freshman year that young man has had. He's a finalist for the Jerry Rice Award given to the nation's top freshman in FCS.
Yeah, was CAA Rookie of the Year. Does a nice job running the football, can catch it out of the backfield as well.
Reese Poffenbarger trying to bounce back after the opening drive interception. Set to throw on 2nd and 7. It's caught. Right back to Julian Hicks. That's his 3rd reception. Moves the chains.
Yeah, I mean, they're concentrating their coverage on Brevin Easton after the performance he had last week. So Julian Hicks is getting some opportunities, and Poffenbarger is finding them. And you know, I hate to be Captain Obvious here, but I think very important for UAlbany to go down there, get some points, get some momentum going for them, down 14-0 early.
And Brevin Easton is yet to get targeted tonight. He had 3 touchdowns in the quarterfinal win against Idaho. Checking it down to the tight end, Reniger. And let's check in down with Larisha.
Large. He had that interception for the Jackrabbits. And can you believe that Tucker almost said no to football? In high school, Tucker wanted to focus on basketball and nearly said no thanks to playing football. But Mason McCormick, guys, saved the day. Yes, his teammate. Tucker was best friends with Mason's little brother, and Mason actually forced him to go to weigh-ins and start with football. And obviously, it's paid off for him. Look what he did with that interception.
Yeah, just a freshman walk-on a year ago, now making an interception in a semifinal game. Blown up in the backfield. Max Balloon, the junior, got there first.
Yeah, just the penetration across the face of the offensive lineman. It's the rookie center, Sean Duggery, and Max Balloon just beats him to the point of attack, gets there and makes that tackle for the loss.
Now, end of the first quarter and an opening 15 minutes that belonged to South Dakota State. The reigning national champion, showing why they've won 27 straight games, up 14-0 here. Brookings, where UAlbany is down 2 touchdowns to start the second quarter. Moments ago, Larisha was with Great Danes head coach.
Coach, what more needs to be done to be able to contain the offense of the Jackrabbits?
They're a good football team. They've done well. We're not fitting things the way we normally do, and the back's good. You know, you got to put bodies on them, wrap them up, but they're a good team. We need to step it up on defense.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Greg Gattuso, a former defensive lineman, as that ball's jarred loose, incomplete. Hicks couldn't hold on. Dyshawn Gale's got his hand in there to break it up. Quick thing on Gattuso, so former defensive lineman at Penn State, longtime defensive line coach. So he's built this team around defense, and you saw it in that interview. He's so disappointed with how his defense is.
When he said fit it up, he means his run fits, right? They're not getting their gaps. And listen, though, you got to give credit to that South Dakota State offensive line. I mean, they're winning it at the point of attack. They're a good unit. And talked about Isaiah Davis, how good of a back he is. And you get a good line and a good back, it's going to be successful.
A booming punt that sails to the 5 and bounces into the end zone. Tyler Pastula, an excellent punt of 62 yards, but too good because it rolls into the end zone for a touchback. Now you saw in the opening 2 drives, South Dakota State co-offensive players of the year in the Missouri Valley. Gronowski and Davis, the dynamic duo.
And I've never seen this before anywhere, that the co-offensive players of a conference are in the same backfield. One's the quarterback, one's the running back. It's tremendous. It shows you how good they are that they split the award.
Gronowski, quick hitter. Yankee breaks the tackle, turns upfield.
And if you just say Yankee, you're pretty good. You're going to get it. It's either going to be Jaden or Jackson. It's going to be one of them. Happened to be Jaden that time, and talked about their physicality running after the catch. And you know, those are 2 really good seniors that are going to be missed here, and they want to finish their career off with a win here tonight at home, and then get down there to Frisco, Texas, and get another championship. A little ways to go in this one, but playing good early.
Yeah, they're well on their way. 2 touchdown lead and looking for more. Davis breaks a tackle. Finally wrapped down. A big gain for Isaiah Davis. He has made it look easy tonight, Rainey.
Well, the thing about Isaiah Davis, he's 6'1", 220. So he's a good size, big back with great footwork. He presses, he's got excellent vision and patience. And with that footwork, he's really good at cutting the ball back against the defense, against the grain, as he did right there. A little banged up, but I think he's going to be okay.
He was a big part of the national championship team a year ago. With that year of eligibility, could have played college football anywhere, decided to stay here in Brookings. And they've got something special going, a 27-game win streak. They win tonight and then go to Frisco and win again. You can't do any better than what Isaiah Davis and this group of players have done.
And you just brought something up big. They've stayed here because they have a goal. They want to do something again. I mean, there's no doubt with the transfer portal, a running back like Isaiah Davis, multiple schools want to come in and take Isaiah Davis, but he elected to stay here, and I think it's paid off.
He stayed out of this game for now. Lamar Johnson in the backfield, play action. Gronowski steps up, unloads a deep ball, batted away. A touchdown saving swat by Isaac Duffy.
I mean, we're watching it from the box here. This looks like a touchdown, no doubt about it, as Jackson Yankee splits the defenders, but Isaac Duffy comes over, stretches out, and knocks it away.
Now that would have been a touchdown to Jackson Yankee. Instead, 2nd and 10. And it's Mark Gronowski's first incompletion of the night. How good has the junior been in this semifinal? Hand off Johnson. Not as effective as Davis, but still takes it for a gain of 4.
And a good, tough run there on second down. And what it does is obviously get you to a manageable 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 here for your offense.
And Isaiah Davis coming back into the game for this 3rd and 5. South Dakota State not afraid to run the football on 3rd and long with Davis. He's that good.
And the fact that, you know, good chance there's 4-down territory here would tell me they may run it here on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
Jackrabbits 3 for 3 on 3rd down tonight. Gronowski trying to pick it up with his feet. He does! Steps on the gas, cuts back, and swung down to the 2-yard line. What a run. Mark Gronowski showing off the legs.
Yeah, great call by offensive coordinator Zach Lujan. This was a called quarterback draw. You see Isaiah Davis, 22, up there, getting the block on Dylan Kelly, the middle linebacker. Gronowski finds his way down, 1st and goal.
Davis bulldozing in. Isaiah Davis, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And it's all Jackrabbits in this semifinal.
This time they run to the right side of this offensive line. Excellent blocking. And then if you're a running back like Isaiah Davis, you will take on a corner. That's Bill Hackett, number 5 for UAlbany, the corner. You will take that matchup on one-on-one all night long. Davis lowers that 220-pound frame, squares those shoulders up and says, I'm going to get it in the end zone.
Well, so far in this semifinal, it has not been a fair fight. South Dakota State, awfully impressive. Isaiah Davis, 2 touchdowns. His Jackrabbits up 21-0. Yeah, a 1/4 mile down the road is the South Dakota State Dairy Bar. I mean, how about that?
I
That
like
is
some
fresh.
cheese. Yeah, I like some cheese now. Looks delicious.
So the Jackrabbits, but is it Colby Jack or Pepper Jack?
Looks like Go Jacks to me. So go with that.
Well, whatever it is, it's working. 21-0 lead for South Dakota State. They have looked every bit as good as advertised. A team that comes in with the nation's longest active winning streak at 27 straight. They're the reigning national champions. A lot of players returning from that team that went to Frisco and won a year ago. And 3-touchdown lead. They look well on their way back to Texas again. And Albany continues to struggle in all 3 phases. Reedy, if you're a player on the UAlbany sideline, you're down 3 touchdowns on the road. There's still a lot of time left in this game. How do you rally your teammates to just start clawing back?
You got to keep fighting, and then someone needs to step up and make a big play. In this series right here, whether it's Reese Poffenbarger or Hicks or Easton, someone needs to make a big play. They need to get some excitement, because right now all the momentum is with South Dakota State. Someone needs to step up and make a big play for the Great Danes.
Brevin Easton in the slot at the top of your screen has been quiet. 3 touchdowns in the quarterfinal, not even a catch today. Great Danes decide to run the football. Jason Freeman sniffed it out quickly. Let's check in with Larisha down on the field.
You guys were talking about how to rally this team. Well, Reese was actually talking to the players Monday after practice, and even just here on the sideline, reminding them that what makes them so special is because they can always find a way no matter what it is. You got to remember, almost 90% of the starters that were on the team last year are back again this year, and he reminded them what they went through in 2022, and if they can make up for that this year and continue that momentum, that they can do it right now.
Poffenbarger slings, it's caught. That's Brevin Easton with his first carry, and he lost the football. Driven backwards, there's a flag at the 14. After Easton caught that ball, Rini, what was he thinking?
He ran backwards, and one thing that's evident early on in this game is the team speed of South Dakota State. They are flying around the football, and UAlbany right now does not have an answer for it. So the ball was clearly fumbled. It looked like it went out of bounds. A flag came out. We're going to get this call here, but yes, Brevin Easton clearly went backwards after he caught that ball.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And we're going to look at it here. Yeah, you see the grab there. He got the handoff quick. It was Dyshawn Gales, number 5, the corner for South Dakota State. Had it up there, knew it, took it off, but the referee saw it through the flag, so that 15 fouls him out, gives him a first down. Let's see if UAlbany can take advantage of it now.
Well, they desperately need it, trailing by 3 touchdowns on the road in the program's first ever semifinal. Right back to Easton, caught.
Isaiah Stahlberg there, standout outside linebacker. Transfer from Nebraska, and if you're South Dakota State, you'll give those underneath passes all day long. You want to throw it underneath 4 or 5 yards, we're up 21-0. We're going to come up and hit you. You just don't want to give up any big plays over the top and let UAlbany get that big play that I talked about that they need to give them some momentum.
Hoffenbarger's been the king of the big play all season. Looking for one here. In trouble. Down he goes. South Dakota State swarming the quarterback. Quentin Hicks delivers the sack.
You know, I asked defensive coordinator Jesse Bobbitt, like, who's the leader? Who's the vocal leader of this defensive unit? He said, we really don't have a true one leader. We have a ton of mature and experienced players that are all leaders because they play so hard and physical, and Quentin Hicks right there, number 48, is one of those guys.
Yeah, the Jackrabbits will have their ears pinned back on a 3rd and 8. Poffenbarger gets rid of it, dials it up deep, and it's incomplete. Trying to pick out Julian Hicks, but put too much on it. Nice coverage by Miles Taylor.
Yeah, but those are the shots you got to take if you're Reese Poffenbarger. You were able to connect on a few of those last week at Idaho. That one goes incomplete, but down 21-0 early, you're going to have to take those shots.
Tyler Pastula on to punt it away. His first punt of the night went for 62 yards. Takes a UAlbany bounce. Here's Tucker Large on the return. He's got plenty of speed, breaks 2 tackles, still on his feet, and he's gone! Touchdown, South Dakota State! 79-yard score for Tucker Large. A year ago, Tucker Large was a freshman walk-on. Tonight, an interception and a 79-yard punt return touchdown in an FCS semifinal. What a game.
You know, and so it was, a punt was coming in short, so he backed away, wasn't going to catch it, let it bounce, but it happened to bounce up perfectly into his hands, and then excellent blocking by the punt return team, and he makes the first guy miss. And, you know, I talked about the team speed, and it's all over the place for South Dakota State. As Large gets up the field, catches a couple really nice blocks, and to the house he goes.
An interception and a punt return touchdown as UAlbany has an injured player carried off the field.
You know, the thing about Tucker Large is you see him with that punt return. He can play nickel. He can play outside linebacker, free safety. He can do a lot. Well, oh, by the way, pretty good punt returner as well.
That's UAlbany cornerback Braggett Wicke, the junior who was carried off the field on that special teams play. Extra point is good, 28-0. South Dakota State flexing their muscles. Tucker Large already an interception tonight. Comes up large again, 79 yards to the house. And the Jackrabbits a 4-touchdown lead. We're still in the first half. Now South Dakota State, a convincing 28-0 lead. We're just midway through the second quarter. Tomorrow here on ESPN2, our FCS playoffs continue. Another semifinal, 2-seed Montana hosting North Dakota State, 4:30 Eastern. You do not want to miss it. The winner will book a spot in Frisco on January 7th. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your official home for all 90 NCAA championships.
And you know, if North Dakota State can upset Montana and this holds suit and South Dakota State makes it, championship game with 2 Missouri Valley football conferences in. It's the strongest conference by far in FCS. 6 teams got bids to the playoff this year out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference.
And it would be a rematch of last year's national championship game. You see the Jackrabbits won their first ever national championship, taking down the Bison 45-21 a year ago. And if you're gonna play in Frisco, you gotta have a Dakota in the game. That has held true since 2017. Obviously the Bison, they've been a perennial power for so long at the FCS level. South Dakota State, they have built this program to not only challenge North Dakota State, but they're every bit as good as that dynasty was. They are locked in, really from the opening kickoff, Rini. They have not made one mistake.
And, you know, going back to that point, too, you know, what do they say? If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? And North Dakota State has been that, and now South Dakota State has taken that next step and looks dynamite.
And I think there's a misconception when you look at FCS football. Oh, it's a step down from FBS. Not if you watch South Dakota State and North Dakota State during their dynasty. There's a lot of good football at this level. You are seeing that tonight. Poffenbarger dialing up a bomb, and it's intercepted. What a spectacular play. Dyshawn Gales tracked it like a center fielder to take it away from Brevin Easton. That is as good a play as you'll see a defensive back make all season.
Last week it was Brevin Easton adjusting to those balls in the air, making acrobatic catches. But you're right, Dyshawn Gales, look at this, over the shoulder, keeps running. Tremendous interception in all phases of the game tonight for South Dakota State. Offense, defense, and special teams. They're not only winning, they're dominating.
Already up 4 touchdowns in this semifinal. South Dakota State has their foot firmly planted on the gas. They are not giving an inch. Gronowski looking for more, throwing on first down, right on the money. A broken tackle. Jaden Yankee into Albany territory, and the Jackrabbits starting to pour it on.
Well, and you got to love the call on first down. You figure you're up 28-0. They're going to run it to their big back, Isaiah Davis. Get this clock running. You see the ISO here. Yankee is in the slot, just runs a corner route. Isaac Duffy, the safety, cannot get over quick enough. Good throw by Gronowski to Jaden Yankee, and a big pickup on first down. I feel like we've said that a few times tonight.
Gronowski calling his own number. Stopped after a gain of 3. You know, we have a lot of attention on Isaiah Davis and the Yankee twins. Mark Gronowski is as steady a quarterback as you will find. Reigning MVP in last year's national championship game. Another player that if he went into the portal,
oh yeah,
basically,
yeah,
his phone would be ringing nonstop.
Can make all the throws, super experienced, really hard to trick him up defensively. He's seen it all, and he's just a cool customer.
But South Dakota State has such a great culture that the likes of Gronowski and Isaiah Davis, who's running here, they don't want to think about the portal because they are so bought into what's happening here in Brookings as we go down to Larisha.
You guys are talking about Mark Gronowski, and when we asked the coaches and even the players just about who he is and his character, everyone said pretty much the same thing. They said Mark is as close to perfect as you'd want someone to be. He's intelligent, has a 3.9 GPA, he's an engineering major, but most importantly, he's one who can relate to everyone on the team. They mentioned that he has a moxie to him that can't be coached, and he's savvy, brings juice, and he has this silent confidence about him, which I think he has displayed tonight, guys.
In a very big way on a very big stage, throwing on 3rd down. That's knocked away, incomplete. Jackson Yankee couldn't quite hang on to that one. Isaac Duffy broke it up in coverage for UAlbany.
Yeah, they'll go for it here. You know, and you go back talking about Mark Gronowski's toughness.
Well, hold on, they're not going for it.
Looks like they're going to go for field goal. Yep, 50-yarder.
A good opportunity with a 4-touchdown cushion to test the leg of Hunter Dustman. 50-yard attempt. The senior who does all the punting and kicking for the Jackrabbits, and it's blocked. UAlbany, that's their biggest win of the night. A field goal block on special teams. Great Danes will have the ball when we come back. 5 minutes left to this opening half. Now, there's really no other way to say it. This has been one-way traffic here in Brookings, South Dakota. The top-seeded Jackrabbits, winners of 27 straight, have built a 28-0 lead here. UAlbany, if you have a chance to come back in this game, you need points before halftime.
Yeah, I mean, and -3 rushing yards for UAlbany thus far in this ballgame.
Poffenbarger dumps it down. Aiden tangled up, gain of 6.
Yeah, try to get it to Aiden in the flat there, see if he can break a tackle, but a nice pickup on 1st down. Again, any type of positive momentum for UAlbany in the locker room at halftime will go a long way. See if we can get down there if you're UAlbany and try to get some points here.
Reese Poffenbarger has been intercepted twice in this first half. Leads all of FCS with 36 touchdowns on the season. Slings it out short. Roy Alexander gets 4 to move the chains. About 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Now, Poffenbarger, called by his own head coach, Greg Caduso, a little nuts, and he lives with it. He's confident in him. He's a gunslinger, a scrambler. He does a lot of good. He's got that big playability. Maybe we see it here at the end of the first half. Poffenbarger right over the middle, right on the money for another 1st down. Marquise Dietz with his first catch of the day. Let's check in with Larisha.
Well, you guys talking about how Reese is a little nuts. Well, Coach told us a story about how one day during practice, randomly, Reese just went over and hurdled over him, saying, "Hey, Coach, I'm like MJ. I'm athletic. I needed to let you know I can get it done."
He needs to be like MJ in the rest of this semifinal, trailing 28-0 right now. It's worth mentioning that, and by Greg Gattuso's own admission, he's not a small man.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
6'2", very broad, and yet Poffenbarger got up and hurdled over his head coach.
Yeah, probably not the wisest thing. Coach Gattuso said, "What are you doing? You can get hurt." trying to jump over me.
The 2023 CAA Coach of the Year. Watching on, Poffenbarger. Checks it down, Faisal Aiden, his second catch on this drive. Takes it for another first down. This, no doubt about it, has been the best drive of the night for UAlbany.
Good quick passes underneath. Getting it to the receivers and backs and letting them turn up and get some yardage after the catches.
Pressure coming. Poffenbarger gets it out quickly, nearly intercepted again. Julian Hicks tangled up with Stahlberg.
And you see the confidence that South Dakota State has in their secondary with man-to-man coverage. They send an all-out blitz there, man-to-man in the back end, and they do a nice job in coverage.
Second and 10. Play action. Poffenbarger escapes, heaves, and nearly picked. Jason Freeman was in the area for South Dakota State.
Yeah, and it looked like an offensive lineman for UAlbany drifted downfield. No flag on the play, and this is what Reese Poffenbarger can do. Looked like he wanted the run, then he keeps his head up, tries to get it to Eason, and you see Jason Freeman probably should have intercepted that one.
A flag comes in. Woodall drilled. The flag blew the play dead first, though.
Well, it's going to be a false start on UAlbany, and actually helps them.
False start, number 13 offense. Yard penalty, third down.
Because they lost yardage on the run, but now they at least get the down back with losing 5 yards. I mean, the penetration there by South Dakota State. Brian Williams shot through there, and just, Griffin Woodell didn't have a chance.
UAlbany just 3 rushing yards in this first half. They have been dominated in the trenches. 3rd and 15 after the false start. Poffenbarger has to throw. Slings it, and it's intercepted. Dallas Beanham. And Reese Poffenbarger has been picked off 3 times in this first half.
And Beanham had lockdown coverage earlier. He's a 6'1", 190-pound corner that you can lock him on. These good receivers, right side, excellent coverage by Beanham. Receiver goes down, interception. South Dakota State football.
Thank you, Zubin. You mentioned it, bowl season kicks off tomorrow. We are really looking forward to what is just a terrific month of football. Games on pretty much every day, Rini. If you want to watch football, ESPN has you covered.
Yeah, no doubt. This is the fun time of the year if you're a college football fan. Just can't go wrong with any of the games. And, oh, by the way, Trevor Matich will have his choice of plays and to break down for South Dakota State in this
number
one.
74 of the offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
And you see Garrett Greenfield, he's one of the leaders of not only the offensive line, but the team. they look up to him. Senior, 6'7", 320. He's one that I fully expect he'll be playing on Sundays next year. Big Garrett Greenfield.
There's a lot of
Albany
teams
has
that
the
could...
option of starting the clock on the snap on that accepted penalty on the offense. Clock will start on the snap.
There you have it. There's a lot of teams, to your point on Garrett Greenfield, that need a proven tackle in the NFL. And he's certainly one of them. Quick hitter. Jackson Yankee turns upfield. The yards after the catch tonight have been tremendous by the Jackrabbits.
Excellent speed that we talked about, but they're efficient, right? There's no dancing with the football. Make the catch, tunnel screen, get straight up, come off the block, read it, and get up the field and get it now to a second down in 6.
Jackson Yankee stays down after he was tackled. Makes me think, I know it's not even halftime yet, Rini, but up 4 touchdowns. When do you think about pulling your starters, most notably Gronowski and Isaiah Davis and the Yankee twins, who you need healthy for that championship?
Well, I think you're going to get to halftime, get into the third quarter. First and foremost, if you're Jimmy Rogers, the head coach of South Dakota State, you got 1:24 left here. You want to try to put some points right here, right? Really kind of put your foot down on the gas pedal, get some points here going in to halftime. And then once you get to the third quarter, you kind of feel it out and see. But the way this game's going, I think there is going to come a point where you're going to probably pull some guys, or at least limit some guys for sure.
And the man you definitely want to protect is Mark Gronowski, who has been terrific today for quarterback South Dakota State, both with his legs, 50 yards on the ground and 150 yards through the air. Escapes pressure, rolls right, and delivers it on target. Graham Goring, his first grab of the night, the sophomore from Iowa City.
Yeah, excellent catch by Goring. Goes up, makes it, gets a foot in bounds, and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. It looked like Gronowski was going to run, but at the last second, saw Goring there, puts it on him. Excellent concentration from Goring here. And just sit down here, go up, make the catch, foot in, gets 2 in. Would have been good on Sundays.
Lamar Johnson into UAlbany territory, shy of the first down, though. Only got 9 on that run.
Yeah, that's where you would hope Lamar Johnson just lowers those shoulders and goes forward, picks up that first down to stop the clock.
A dominant first half. Mark Gronowski and the Jackrabbits looking for more. Jaden Yankee takes it for a first down gain of 14.
You know, so you talk about, you got a great receiver, 6'3", 210 pounds on the outside. God says, I'm going to make 2 of them. And I'm going to let them both go to South Dakota State. Twin receivers that are just tremendous. The Yankee twins.
Well, they've been so good throughout their career here at South Dakota State, now in their senior season. A 1-2 punch in the passing game. A deep ball. Gronowski puts it up. It's caught. Jaden Yankee. What a grab. Just talking about the Yankee twins, the pride of Madison High School. Just 44 minutes away from Brookings here in South Dakota. And that might have been the best catch of the first half in what has been domination.
Yeah, just one-on-one on the outside. Excellent protection. Gronowski steps up. Jaden Yankee adjusts to the ball. Amir Hall's in coverage for UAlbany. But Jaden Yankee just beats him and then comes back with that concentration, makes that catch in the end zone. And to say South Dakota State is clicking on all cylinders in this first half is an understatement.
Jaden Yankee, 6 receptions, 151 yards and now a touchdown. Bowl season begins tomorrow. 7 games on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN+. Here's our quadruple header on ESPN. It all starts with the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Georgia Southern and Ohio. Then the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, the Isleta New Mexico Bowl, and the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. The first day of a lot of days of football. Bowl season is here, kicks off tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, Cure Bowl's on ABC as well, so boy, a lot of great games to start this bowl season.
Miami, Ohio, the MAC champions playing in that Cure Bowl on ABC. I loved what Chuck Martin said in his press conference this week, that these bowl games
matter.
They do.
Yes.
These kids are so fired up to get the opportunity to have more practices with their teammates, play another game, get to go to a great location like Orlando and Myrtle Beach.
It's hard to win. So even the teams that go 6-6, they deserve it. It's a chance of a lifetime. Much like the winner of this game, going to Frisco, Texas for the national championship. Chance of a lifetime. South Dakota State well on their way, going back, trying to repeat.
And they will be heavy favorites in that championship game no matter who wins tomorrow, Montana or North Dakota State. And the Jackrabbits beat North Dakota State 33-16 earlier this season. This has been a statement first half by the top-seeded Jackrabbits. Poffenbarger has been picked off 3 times. Checks it down short to Julian Hicks, and he's sandwiched.
You just see how they swarm to the football with this team defense. You love to see that. Get a hat on the ball. Tremendous.
You really couldn't have played a more complete first half than South Dakota State has.
Other than a blocked field goal, it's been spot on. And if you're UAlbany, you got to regroup. You got to keep fighting, right? This is where, you know, it's tough, it's hard, but you got to come out, you got to show heart, and you got to keep playing your tails off. It's about pride now, right? In a game like this, you got to just keep fighting. You feel bad saying it. You're still in the first half, but
well, they've got a lot to be proud of, even making it to this stage for the first time in program history. But they have come to Brookings, and they have learned why South Dakota State has the longest active winning streak in all of college football.
Yeah, they've run into a juggernaut. There's no doubt about it.
A dominant 35-0 lead for the Jackrabbits. At halftime, we'll send you into the studio. Zubin Mehenti, Trevor Maddich have you covered. As dominant a first half as you will find in the semifinals, no less. South Dakota State a commanding 35-0 lead over the UAlbany Great Danes. The Jackrabbits just a second half away from heading back to Frisco to try and defend their national championship. And this first half, just one-way traffic, total domination, and Jaden Yankee, Mark Gronowski connecting big time.
When you can win at the line of scrimmage, run the ball the way you want to, and South Dakota State had 9 carries and 63 yards for Isaiah Davis, it opens up on the outside, and Jaden Yankee has taken advantage of that, and Gronowski's done an exceptional job of spreading the ball around and pretty much have done whatever they want on offense.
Jaden Yankees 151 yards receiving, by the way. That is a South Dakota State playoff record for receiving yards, and he did it in just a half.
That's pretty good.
Now there is in control, and then there is what the Jackrabbits are right now. A 35-0 lead as they are set to kick it away to start this second half. The holders of the longest active winning streak in all of college football in 27 straight wins. Larisha, have to imagine that head coach Jimmy Rogers is happy with his football team.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely happy. He says we're clicking on all cylinders. Defensively, we're getting the job done. Offensively, we're running the ball, opening the passing lanes, and Tucker Large is just being Tucker Large. Well, meanwhile, head coach Greg Gattuso said he talked to his team about just showing pride and playing to the finish, playing better this second half. He reminded them of their motto, always us, never them. He said we can get it done. We just have to keep fighting.
Poffenbarger slings it out. The sophomore struggled in that first half. He's had such an outstanding season. Leads all FCS quarterbacks in passing touchdowns, but those 3 interceptions really hurt the Great Danes.
Well, Larisha talked about it, what Coach Gattuso said, and he's spot on. You got to keep fighting, and it's about pride, right? You just keep playing, try to claw and get yourself back in this ball game.
Program's first ever trip to the FCS semifinals. Ball came out. Jason Freeman, a scoop and score. And the Jackrabbits pick up where they left off and start this second half with a defensive touchdown.
It was Isaiah Stallbird with the big time hit, number 2 for South Dakota State. And you see Griffin Waddell on the ground. He took the big hit. Let's take a look at it here and make sure a knee wasn't down or an elbow. There's the big hit right there. And I just, from that angle, you just can't see the ball. So nothing there shows me you can overturn it. Well, it came out, yeah. Great look there. Ball's definitely out. And you see the heads-up play by Jason Freeman to jump on it, scoop and score.
The ruling of a fumble recovered by the defense and run for a touchdown is under review.
Yeah, so replay official Joe Cronin will look at it.
You know, Jason Freeman, who had the scoop and score touchdown there, reminds head coach Jimmy Rogers of himself. Just 5'9", undersized, didn't get any offers, but produces. And he's the leading tackler of this South Dakota State team. A defensive touchdown here, and that's what this program's all about.
Yeah, you see the big time hit by Isaiah Stallbird, number 2, coming across. To me, the ball clearly was moving and came out. Jason Freeman scoops it up, and to your point, Jay, because he's undersized, 5'9", 215, got a little chip on your shoulder, right? And guys with a chip on their shoulder that have ability like Jason Freeman, they ball out, they can play. And here's a good look at it here. You're gonna see the hit. To me, Stallbird gets that head up enough. Doesn't look like it's crowned to me, helmet. And the ball definitely moved there. Big time hit by Stallbird. So I think this play is gonna be confirmed as a fumble, a scoop, and a score. Big Sky Conference officials.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touchdown.
A dominant performance somehow hits another stratosphere here in Brookings with a defensive touchdown to start the second half.
Yeah, there's not much more to say. I mean, done a lot of games in my days, and yeah, just dominant performance by South Dakota State in all 3 phases.
I mean, the Great Danes, this is a historic season for UAlbany. Their first trip to the FCS semifinal in school history. After a year ago, they were just a 3-win team. Preseason picked 11th in the CAA, not even picked to finish in the top 10 in their conference, and yet they win it. Go on this magical run to the semifinal. And this is where the top seed, South Dakota State, the reigning champions, have just given knockout punch after knockout punch tonight.
I mean, UAlbany gets a tremendous win on the road last week at Idaho. We talked about it, but they come in here and it's just a juggernaut. And one thing with this UAlbany program is they're going to learn from this experience, right? Coming into hostile places like this, playing great teams like South Dakota State, you gain from it. It's tough right now. We talked about pride. You just got to keep fighting and clawing and get through this one.
And the question really becomes for South Dakota State, with a 6-touchdown lead in the second half, how do you just get through this game with a comfortable win and nobody gets hurt, because you still have a national championship to play for?
Yeah, I would think Mark Gronowski, the quarterback, will eventually be pulled here very shortly. I think Chase Mason, the backup's going to get some reps, and you start putting some guys in and, resting them up for Frisco,
where they will try and defend their national championship. They have looked every bit the part of a national champion tonight. This defense still swarming to the football.
And with a half left, normally I would never count a team out, right? It could always come back, but UAlbany hasn't showed me anything tonight in this ball game that says, hey, they have the ability to come back from 42 down in the second half. I mean, South Dakota State is just flying around the football. Team speed, offensively, moving it around, special teams.
4 turnovers have really hurt UAlbany tonight. Poffenbarger connects Roy Alexander there for a first down. Now, the good news for the Great Danes is Reese Poffenbarger, just a sophomore. Freshman of the year running back Griffin Waddell, true freshman. So the building blocks are there for this Great Danes team, and you can learn from this experience going against the very best that the FCS has to offer. Another big hit. Savion Williamson laying the lumber there.
Yeah, Levi Wentz with the catch. He's back next year. Marquise Dietz. So, Jay, you're right. They got a lot coming back next year offensively.
With the passing game getting going, Brevin Easton, who had the 3 touchdowns against Idaho last week in the quarterfinals, makes the catch there to move the sticks.
Yeah, he comes out, but yeah, he's one you just want to target a bunch. And so just, UAlbany taking what the defense gives you, the underneath shots. Obviously, South Dakota State doesn't want to give up a quick score.
Poffenbarger takes off, shows off the legs. It slides just short of the 30.
And you love the fight you're seeing right now out of UAlbany and the moxie out of Reese Poffenbarger. Good job, tucks it, good speed, picks up the first down. Got to get that first score, right? Kind of take the lid off it. Get a little momentum here. If you're UAlbany, got to put it in the end zone.
And in the red zone for the first time today, Faisal Aiden gain of 13. This is the first time all night that they're stringing together positive yardage.
And it's the first time they've had any sense of rhythm, right? Going, getting a little flow.
First trip to the red zone. Can they cash in? Poffenbarger floated it. Incomplete. Trying to pick out Julian Hicks. Miles Taylor in coverage for the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, good coverage on the outside there. Again, when they send the blitz, when defensive coordinator Jesse Bobbitt comes after Poffenbarger, they're one-on-one on the outside, and the corners from South Dakota State to this point have passed the test.
Poffenbarger in trouble, steps up, tucks and runs, and slides at the 15.
Yeah, just getting what he can. Pocket closed down on him there. He steps up, gets a few, and then slides.
Started that slide at the 17-yard line. Sets up a 3rd and 7. Trying to get some points on the board at the start of this 3rd quarter. Play action. Poffenbarger in trouble. Just heaves it to the sideline.
Number 13 is in the area. 4th down.
Yeah, under big pressure, takes a big hit, heaves it out there, and they said Brevin Easton was in the area. That was being kind, but got it back to the line of scrimmage. They said Easton was in the area, so 4th down. Great Danes will go for it here.
If by in the area they meant on the field.
Listen, I'm glad they didn't throw an intentional grounding there. Let it go. No need to.
4th and 7. Best field position UAlbany has had all night. Poffenbarger to the end zone, nearly intercepted in what would have been a SportsCenter top 10 play by Miles Taylor. Tried to haul that in one-handed. It's still a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and Miles Taylor is one of their young corners, only a sophomore, getting some good reps tonight.
Well, South Dakota State, they've been dialed in on both sides of the ball. Almost a 4th interception for the Jackrabbits. They're up 42-0. Yeah, the top seed undefeated Jackrabbits well on their way to try and defend their national title in Frisco, a 42-0 lead here in Brookings. As we remind you, bowl season kicks off tomorrow. 7 games on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus. This is your ABC triple header. It kicks off noon Eastern time with the Cricket Celebration Bowl, Howard and Florida A&M, and then the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. The MAC champions, Miami, Ohio, taking on Appalachian State, and the Starco Brands LA Bowl finishes things off from SoFi Stadium. Isaiah Davis continues his hard running tonight for South Dakota State, gain of 15. Narini, bowl season is here. ESPN dominates.
Yeah.
Feels like every day there's a game.
7 games tomorrow. I mean,
7's just special to kick it off.
Yeah, sit on your couch. It's a perfect start to bowl season. Now, we wish we had a better one for you tonight to kind of, the appetizer, but it just hasn't worked out that way.
Well, it's been good for South Dakota State.
Yeah.
Mark Gronowski and Isaiah Davis still in the game. Starting quarterback and running back, the dynamic duo, co-offensive players of the year in the Missouri Valley. A flag flies in.
And Davis was about to go over 100 on that run, or close to it, but we'll see what the call is in the area of holding on the edge.
Holding offense number 61, 10-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
Evan Bernstein, the right guard, called for the hold. Truly the first mistake that South Dakota State has made on the offensive line. Those 5 up front have really set the tone in this semifinal.
Yeah, an experienced bunch, a big bunch. Average well over 300 pounds up front. They call themselves the 605 Hogs. Take a lot of pride in that offensive line. Good looking unit. I'd love to run behind a line like that.
Gronowski delivers it right on the money again. Graham Goring, the sophomore, with his second catch of the night, goes for 21.
But what a pass by Gronowski, just on time, in rhythm, right there when Goring comes out of his break. Makes the catch, picks up the first down.
Now there's a reason Mark Gronowski is an FCS Walter Payton Award finalist, which goes to the best offensive player in the nation.
Oh, by the way, it's a 2-for-1 trip because the ceremony's in Frisco, Texas next week, and it looks like his team will be there as well.
He really embodies this team. Steady, no weaknesses, does his job. You know, the stats themselves aren't necessarily flashy, but he just doesn't turn the ball over, makes winning plays, reigning MVP in last year's national championship game. Had eligibility left, could have went into the transfer portal and went to a Power 5 program. Decided to stay here in Brookings to try and go back-to-back. And he is well on his way. He has orchestrated a perfect performance tonight.
Yeah, now on the season, 27 touchdowns against only 4 interceptions. I mean, that's a tremendous ratio.
Slings another one right over the middle. Should have been caught. Dropped by the freshman, Griffin Wilde.
And Wilde, the true freshman, 5 touchdowns on the year, 18 receptions. That was one where he was thinking, I'm going to run with the ball before I catch it. Gronowski puts it on him and he drops it.
Now the balanced Jackrabbits offense tonight. They've been effective both in the pass and in the running game. Movement before the snap.
Illegal snap, number 50 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
And you see Gus Miller, the center there, junior.
Clock to 8:02.
You know, that left side of the offensive line, Garrett Greenfield, 74, Mason McCormick, 60. McCormick is one of those leaders on the team as well. You know, both 74 and 60, I believe, have a really good chance of playing in the NFL.
8:02.
As the official figures out the time left in the game, but you see Gus Miller there as the center.
And Miller, a Brookings High School alum, right down the road. Good protection. Gronowski dials up a deep ball. He put it there. Great defense. Knocked away by Bill Hackett. Sets up 4th and 9.
And the coaches told us about Bill Hackett, one of the most confident players, not only on the defense, but on the team. Good coverage there. Doesn't look back, but he doesn't contact him by not looking back. He plays the eyes that time of Jaden Yonke and gets those arms up and through. And you got to have that confidence, especially as a defensive back. Nice play there by Bill Hackett.
This is the first punt of the night for South Dakota State. All their other drives have resulted in touchdowns. Fair catch called for at the 10-yard line. Midway through this third quarter, South Dakota State well on their way to go back to Frisco. South Dakota State up 42-0, and the only thing better than this performance in the semifinal is the ice cream at the Dairy Bar on campus here at South Dakota State.
Looks delicious. I could go for a little ice cream right now.
I could use some ice cream. Rini and Goli, Jay Alter with you. Larissa Harris, she's probably all right, been on the sideline all night long. But you and I, we're comfortable in the booth. Could enjoy some
few calories
and cream.
Absolutely. A little chocolate, look delicious.
They produce 1,400 gallons of ice cream a week during their peak in the summer. So what's one more gallon for you and me?
Exactly. So you're saying a gallon between the two of us? We'd share it with everyone.
We
in the
still
booth.
got half a third quarter and a fourth quarter.
That is true. We'd probably get through a gallon, you and I.
That would have been a good challenge. We could have another scoreboard up. What flavor would we go for?
I'm a chocolate guy. I'm just, I'm a chocolate vanilla guy.
Yeah, that doesn't do much for me.
Don't get me wrong. I'll pretty much eat anything, but I'm just saying, I'm a traditionalist. Sorry.
I'm more of like a cookies and cream, cookie dough.
Nothing wrong with a good cookies. A cookie dough's good, yeah.
UAlbany, this is not the night they wanted here in Brookings.
Yeah, they didn't want us talking about ice cream with 6:52 left in the third. I can tell you that.
It's been a historic run for this group, making it to the semifinal for the first time in school history. They got down 14-0 early. Were driving the football, had a chance to really get a foothold in this game. A Reese Poffenbarger interception. They really just couldn't find an offensive flow from there. 4 turnovers have really hurt them tonight. Poffenbarger into tight coverage. Put it right there for Brevin Easton. And Larisha, it doesn't help UAlbany that they're going against an outstanding South Dakota State defense.
You're right, an outstanding defense that goes by tough love for their standards. That's the culture of this defense, this team. Tough, meaning team, understanding, focus, finish. Love, meaning leadership, ownership, value, empowerment. And each week they have weekly goals. They checked off winning every category. And now they're trying to check off even more, including limiting explosive plays.
Illegal shift, number 13 in the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So that's the tough love checklist that Larisha was just talking about. Well, they've already gotten 4 defensive takeaways. They've been dominant in the red zone. Pitch at a shutout. Just need a few more tackles for loss and they'll check them all off tonight. The biggest one they wanted to check off, Rini, was a win.
The W, yeah.
Keep their season alive and give themselves a chance to go to Frisco and defend their national championship.
And defensive coordinator Jesse Bobbitt told us, listen, we have lofty goals on defense. We don't always hit them, but we strive to. And tonight, pretty darn good.
Head coach Jimmy Rogers, his first year stepping in as head coach, was the defensive coordinator before that. So many former Jackrabbit players on this staff, and they take so much pride that they've built the success at their alma mater, and it's their job as stewards, if you will, of this proud program to hold that standard high, and that checklist helps them do that.
And Jimmy Rogers was a 4-year starter here at South Dakota State, a linebacker, a tough-nosed player. Helped build the culture, not only as a player, but as an assistant coach, and now he takes this program over, and it hasn't missed a beat, and loved talking with him this week, and he's got this program staying on a trajectory they were on after the national championship last year.
And speaking with some people in the community here in Brookings this week, they remember Rogers as a player, the passion with which he played with.
Yeah.
He was part of the first group of players to even make the FCS playoffs. They had never been to the playoffs before Rogers in that group, and now they've won a national championship. 27-game winning streak.
And he talked about when he came here how there really wasn't any facilities. They kind of bypassed the stadium on his official visit. Now I can tell you, outstanding facilities here at South Dakota State. This press box, the end zone facility, it's top notch in the country, let alone FCS.
UAlbany piecing together some positive plays. This is the second drive in the third quarter that they've built a rhythm and a flow, which they failed to do in the first half. Take a look at the stadium. Outstanding stadium.
Great crowd tonight.
About the facility.
Yeah, it's really nice. Scoreboard, and we've been to a lot of really nice FBS programs. This one fits right in there with many.
I mean, would South Dakota State, North Dakota State ever think about jumping up? Delaware, the Blue Hens just announced that they're going to jump up to Conference USA.
They could easily do it, and they could beat a lot of FBS programs right now. Let's not forget, the last time South Dakota State lost, it was at Iowa, the opening game of the 2022 season. They only lost that game 7-3. I mean, this program's for real. You know, is transitioning, you know, it's not even something they really talk about here. I think they like dominating the FCS. Their fans love it.
The pitch to no avail. Now, we saw North Dakota State, their dominance, the dynasty. 2012 to 2014 winning 33 in a row, 3 championships, and then another 3 championships, 2017, 2018, 2019, those long winning streaks. Well, South Dakota State is building something very similar to what you saw there in Fargo. They are not done with this win streak yet. The 42-0 lead, well on their way to 28 straight wins.
And Jimmy Rogers told us it was never about chasing North Dakota State, you know, how good they were. It was never about chasing them. It was about chasing them to be the best they can be here at South Dakota State. He said he knew if they could do that, get the culture the way he wants it, which they have the last few years, that they would be great themselves, and they have.
Trying to keep the shutout. Poffenbarger goes down. The Jackrabbits defense delivers again. Quentin Hicks.
And they send a blitz once again, comes off the edge. Xavion Williamson, number 6, was there as well. Poffenbarger steps up in the pocket, and they get the sack.
Hicks' second sack of the night. Whenever South Dakota State has needed a big play, this defense has found it. Poffenbarger, 4th and 10. Play clock hits zeros.
Yeah, I think they're going to say Gattuso got the timeout before the delay of game.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout, Albany, their first charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
4th and 10 when we come back. The top seed, South Dakota State, trying to keep the shutout. Now this game is no longer in doubt. South Dakota State, a dominant effort, 42-0 with under a minute left of the third quarter. This has been the best drive of the night for Reese Poffenbarger in Albany. The sophomore quarterback 9 for 9 through the air on this drive for 71 yards. And now faces a 4th and 10. South Dakota State trying to keep the shutout intact here in the FCS semifinal. Whistle before the snap.
Timeout, South Dakota State. Their first 30-second timeout of the half.
Well, very much looks like South Dakota State will head back to the national title game, where the Missouri Valley Conference has absolutely dominated. This is since 2011. Look at that, Rainey.
Yeah, and you know, you see the 4 from the CAA. James Madison was there a few times. They've now transitioned up and are in the Sun Belt playing FBS football. So yeah, just complete dominance from the Missouri Valley Football Conference. And we talked about it earlier. If North Dakota State can knock off Montana tomorrow. It's going to be a rematch of last year, and again, 2 Missouri Valley football conferences going at it.
4th and 10. Hoffenbarger tried to squeeze it in there. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Jackrabbits keep the shutout intact. Isaiah Stahlberg, great play to deny the tight end Reniger from making a play on the ball.
Yeah, Hoffenbarger tries to squeeze it in to Reniger, but this defense, again, flying around. And how important is the shutout to them? They called the timeout before that to make sure they were in the right defense. And it pays off as they get the stop.
Tomorrow, right here on ESPN2, you just mentioned it, Rainey. Number 2 seed Montana hosting North Dakota State, 2 perennial powers at FCS football. That should be a much closer game than we got tonight here in Brookings.
Another great stadium up there in Montana. You know it's going to be a sold-out crowd. That's going to be electric tomorrow. So we talked about the 7 bowl games. Oh, by the way, you got that one tomorrow too. So 8 tremendous football games on the ESPN family of networks tomorrow to get you going.
Yeah, this was supposed to be your appetizer before bowl season kicks off tomorrow. 11 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN with the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Georgia Southern and Ohio starts what is just a tremendous time of year. It's dominated by games all over ESPN's family of networks. Isaiah Davis still hard running here at the end of the 3rd quarter. "15 minutes away from officially making their trip back to Frisco to play in another national championship." South Dakota State a commanding 42-0 lead moments ago. Larisha Harris was with Jackrabbits head coach.
Coach, your guys firing on all cylinders. What specifically has impressed you the most?
I don't know. We're playing team football right now. The guys are excited, and we talked about it all week. This is the punch our ticket, so we're doing it at the highest level.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Jimmy Rogers, in his first year as head coach, was the defensive coordinator before that and played for the Jackrabbits not too long ago. Started this 4th quarter, and South Dakota State still with their starting quarterback in this game. Mark Gronowski with a 42-0 lead. I didn't expect him to be taking.
Yeah, still in there. And you know, you see Jimmy Rogers, and he's a tough guy. We talked about him. He's a former linebacker. And when we talked to him this week, he got emotional talking about his seniors. There's a lot of seniors, a lot of experience on this team. It's the last time they're ever going to play in this stadium tonight, and so that was in the back of their minds, and of course punching their ticket to Frisco. And so yeah, got emotional, which was great to see.
A lot of seniors that helped deliver that historic first ever national championship a year ago. Now under 15 minutes away from, as you just said, punching their ticket back to Frisco to try and make it back-to-back national titles.
They love the stiff arm there by Isaiah Davis. He's coming close to 100. My guess is 3 yards for 100. They're going to get him 100, keep his kind of streak going along, and then get him out.
And on that carry, Davis now first in rushing in FCS this year with 1,481 yards, 97 of them coming tonight. Right back to Davis. Breaks free, has the first down. He's over 100 yards rushing tonight. That is now 7 straight FCS playoff games where Isaiah Davis has 100 yards or more.
And as great as a running back he is, excellent job of the offensive line. They all reach block to the right. Good push. Get that defensive line from Albany moving. Isaiah Davis hits it up from behind, and the crowd knows you can hear him. He goes over 100, and I don't think we're going to see Isaiah Davis again. He's done for the night. Tremendous running back.
When it matters most, playoff time, Davis has been at his best. Instrumental in that national championship a year ago. Well on his way. Gronowski, the quarterback, blocking here for Amar Johnson.
And as much as you love to see it, if you're Jimmy Rogers, you don't want to see it. You don't want your quarterback throwing his shoulder and blocking in a 42-0 game. That's why I'm surprised he's still in there. And Chase Mason hasn't gotten the call yet.
Play action, Gronowski, plenty of time, floats it, touchdown! Zach Hines hauls it in for his second touchdown of the night. Surely that's the last ball Mark Gronowski throws in this semifinal, and it goes for a 25-yard touchdown.
Oh, the big tight end needed every inch of his 6'7" frame as he goes up, just runs down the seam, left side, good ball by Gronowski, and look at the big tight end go up and make an acrobatic catch.
Seven plays, 77 yards in under 4 minutes. A 7-touchdown lead. South Dakota State has left no doubt tonight.
We talked about it, clicking on all cylinders. Another touchdown, Gronowski to Zach Hines. South Dakota State rolling in this one.
Live.
South Dakota State well on their way to Frisco. They have left no doubt tonight, a 49-0 lead over UAlbany in our semifinal. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your official home for all 90 NCAA championships. Championship will be held January 7th in Frisco. South Dakota State will be playing in it. Mark Gronowski was the MVP in last year's national championship game, and the junior quarterback's night is done. He swapped out the helmet for the headset and can enjoy this 49-0 lead he built.
The one thing that surprised me a little bit from Mark Gronowski tonight, how quick he was. A few times he scrambled and ran. Showed good speed with those legs tonight.
Well, 6'3", 225 as he runs over and gives Chase Mason a hug. The sophomore quarterback who will take the next series is Gronowski. I think he's going to have a chance to play in the NFL.
For sure. And I thought you were going to say he's going to have a chance to win the Walter Payton Award, which he does. And I think this performance tonight, his added to that. I mean, he's done it with his feet, spreads the ball around with his arm, can make all the throws on time, and just, runs the offense to a T. He's got that moxie you want from your quarterback. Just does it all.
And UAlbany, unfortunately, finishes their season in the semifinal, and this is not the fashion they wanted to go out. A program that 11 wins, getting to the semifinal for the first time in school history, and this just wasn't the performance they expected.
It's going to sting, but like you said, they need to be very proud of this season. Co-CAA champions, did a lot of great things. Biggest win in program history last week against Idaho. You come here and you just run into I've said this word, a juggernaut. I mean, this team, South Dakota State, clicking on all cylinders and is clearly the best team in FCS football.
And that's a great point, because you don't win 27 in a row by accident.
No. Again, and we talked about it. The last time this team lost was at Iowa. First game of 2022, 7-3. Oh, by the way, folks, Iowa was the Big Ten West champions this year. So, I mean, how good is this South Dakota State team and program?
Well, they have shown everybody on a big stage in the semifinal just how good they are. This will be 28 straight wins, the longest active streak in all of college football. They'll go try and defend their national title. They await the winner of Montana and North Dakota State.
Great crowd tonight, too. Good turnout. I know last week it was very windy and cold. It was tough, but fans showed up tonight, full force.
And as you said, sending off the seniors, right? Seniors that helped deliver that national championship a year ago, playing in this stadium for a final time. And this is a game they'll never forget.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with this score, right?
Flag thrown before the snap.
Don't start. Number 19 of the kicking team, 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
So remember earlier, South Dakota State had that 79-yard punt return for a touchdown, Tucker Large, that really, I thought, gave a knockout punch.
It was early in the game, but it was still a knockout punch. It was probably like about a second-round punch. They kind of put UAlbany back on their heels for good in this one.
Special teams was the reason that they beat Villanova in the quarterfinal, had that punt block return for a touchdown. Now a punt return at a 49-0 lead. Well, we've said it all night long. South Dakota State, they have won in all 3 phases, Rini. Here's the best of the best from a dominant effort.
Yeah, and you saw Gronowski to Yankee there, and then this punt return that we talked about from Tucker Large was kind of the knockout punch. Then a big-time hit there from Isaiah Stallberg. Jason Freeman scoops it and scores. That was to start the 3rd quarter. And, yeah, dominant in all phases of the game today for South Dakota State.
And now here's the sophomore, Chase Mason, in at quarterback for this drive. Very capable with his feet, and he shows that off with a quarterback keeper. So dominant, to say the least, in all 3 phases.
And, I mean, we see all the numbers there. I mean, the graph isn't even big enough because, oh, by the way, Isaiah Davis went over 100 yards. You could throw that in there, too.
2 touchdowns, too.
Yeah, so just a dominant performance. It's all you can say.
There is Isaiah Davis, his final game in this stadium. A senior who's part of that group looking to make it back-to-back national championships. They'll await the winner of North Dakota State and Montana. That game kicks off tomorrow right here on ESPN2 at 4:30 Eastern Time. And if you're those 2 teams, you probably turn this game on tonight in the hotel room and you're thinking,
oh my,
oh boy.
And the thing is, I mean, you don't want to think ahead, right? Because they both have big games tomorrow. You got to get to the championship game first. But yeah, you're seeing this one and you're saying this is a team that's focused and looking to repeat.
Chase Mason, the South Dakota native, started his college career at Nebraska, and he just threw his first passing touchdown of the game. Griffin Wilde, 71 yards untouched to put the cherry on top of this FCS semifinal.
Yeah, and Griffin Wilde made up. Remember, he had that drop earlier in the game, and I know that was upsetting to him. I think he just made amends of it on that tunnel screen. Excellent throw by Chase Mason. Good blocking, and just Wilde shows you his speed. We're going to see it right here. Left side, little tunnel screen action. Good throw. Back up through the tunnel. When you have offensive linemen out in front and they don't even have anyone to block, you know it's an excellent play call for South Dakota State.
Rini, we're running out of superlative.
Yeah.
There's still 8 minutes left in this game.
Listen, they didn't get a field goal block today, so something to work on for Coach Rogers.
Well, Chase Mason comes in. No drop-off. It's still all Jackrabbits, and one of the most dominant, complete performances you will ever see in an FCS semifinal. South Dakota State has left no doubt 56-0 lead. 8 minutes left in this 4th quarter as remind you, Monday Night Football in Seattle. It's the Eagles and the Seahawks, Monday, 8 Eastern time on ESPN. Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Dallas Goedert, former Jackrabbit, tight end for the Eagles. One of many proud South Dakota State alums now playing in the National Football League.
And that's the thing, we talked about them staying together here at South Dakota State and wanting to win championships. And they know you show your stuff here, you still have an opportunity to go to the NFL and have a nice career. Problem that everyone's dealing with now around the country, it's this little thing called NIL. Because there's a lot of cash floating out there for players.
And that's what makes it even more impressive that those juniors that are now seniors that won the national championship did come back, because they could have went into the portal and gotten paid.
There's no doubt there's teams out there that would love to have multiple players on this South Dakota State team. So yeah, to your point, the fact that they stayed and said let's try to run it back and go back-to-back national champions tells you a lot.
And it speaks to the culture that Jimmy Rogers and his staff have cultivated here at South Dakota State. Let's check in with Larisha.
To add to what you're saying, Jay, when we spoke with the players and the coaches, they told me what makes this place so special is simply the people, the community, the camaraderie. Like you said, the culture that Coach Jimmy Rogers has established. And even those prior to him, it's the people. They said it starts from the athletic director all the way down to those who are simply janitors. Everyone here exudes a family-oriented vibe.
Now, this South Dakota State football family will have a lot to celebrate, but then they'll quickly turn the page and focus on that championship game.
I was going to say, what else this culture does is they hit. It's a physical bunch that tackles well and flies to the football. And boy, when you play with the physicality that South Dakota State does, you can win a lot of games, and this team has.
27 straight wins, the longest streak in all of college football. But at 7 minutes and 34 seconds, it'll be 28 straight. Another hard hit. That one delivered by Dante Johnson. Fourth and 2 for UAlbany. They're 0 for 2 on fourth down tonight. Pressure coming. Hoffenbarger floats it out of bounds. Another turnover on downs. And South Dakota State continues to preserve this shutout.
Yeah, excellent coverage on the outside again. Jesse Bobbitt, defensive coordinator, dials up a blitz on 4th and 2. One-on-one on the outside, but really good coverage. Hoffenbarger throws it up. It goes out of bounds and a turnover on downs for the defense. And, talking to Jesse Bobbitt, too, he considers turnover on downs like that just as good as a takeaway. So, he's really happy with his defense performance tonight.
We've watched a lot of college football, not just this season, but for a long time. I can't think of a more complete performance.
And this is the most dominant game I've called seeing, a team's performance.
And they're still going. You would think it's a tie game looking at the effort Angel Johnson's giving on that run. Gain of 9.
And the crazy thing is, it's a national semifinal. You just don't expect this,
We were talking all week. We expected a really close game.
We did. I thought the defensive line, the defensive front of Albany would have held up a little better, and just kudos to the South Dakota State offensive line and Isaiah Davis and just the job they did up front, and then protecting Mark Gronowski and letting him kind of scan the field and find his weapons. They surely did tonight.
Right back into the red zone. They make it look so easy.
And that's Angel Johnson, a sophomore, 5'9", 190, good speed and quickness himself. getting some carries. You see how hard he's running. He wants to find the end zone.
Another South Dakota native. They have a lot of South Dakota natives, a lot of kids that they're their only offer.
Yeah, and again, they come here with chips on their shoulder. And
they coach them up, the player development piece of it, and they create champions.
You got some backup offensive linemen in there as well now playing. Get the rest, some of your big guys up front as well. I saw 64, Ethan Vibert's in there. 79, Jarrett Lumen Raiders in there. Dawson Rudd's in there. So yeah, changing out that whole offensive line as well.
Mason moves the pocket, throws, incomplete, swatted away by Isaac Duffy. He's made a couple of nice plays in the UAlbany secondary.
Yeah, and again, right, you just got to compete. It's about pride, keeping him out of the end zone here. Keep playing your tail off if you're UAlbany defensively.
That was Duffy's third pass breakup of the night. All three would have been South Dakota State touchdowns.
Yeah, he's stopped 3 touchdowns for sure.
So when you know, he's had a good night tonight. People could be thinking it's 56-0. How could he be? Well, he's prevented 3 touchdowns himself.
You know, we talked about kind of the dominance of the UAlbany defense this year. Coming in this game, 50 sacks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know the stat guys will yell at me. I don't believe they have a sack tonight. And this defense had 28 takeaways on the season, none tonight. So this was a good defense. They have 1 TFL tonight, but no sacks. This is a very good defense that came in here against an offense that's just been outstanding. Now they get the stop there, which is nice. Hold them to a field goal attempt.
Hunter Dustman on for the 27-yard attempt. And he puts it right through. Not that the Jackrabbits needed it. 3:53 away from making it official. But you can put the Sharpie in the bracket now. Jackrabbits headed to Frisco. Now the South Dakota State crowd has hit euphoria here. 59-0, which is a school record for playoff points for the Jackrabbits. People have lost their shirts. And it's party time here in Brookings. And if you're going to play in Texas, Frisco, the home of the FCS championship, you've got to have a Dakota in the game. And you will in 2023 as well, because South Dakota State has booked their ticket. North Dakota State plays Montana tomorrow. If they win, that'll be a rematch of what was a very good 2022 national championship.
And a lot of these fans here, if they haven't already booked hotels in Frisco, Texas, I'm sure they're on their cell phones right now calling down there.
Well, the Jackrabbits will travel.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line.
Who do you think's going to win this game, Rainey?
So I do the FCS selection show before the playoffs start. I picked a Montana South Dakota State championship. So I'm going to go with Montana at home. I think it's a tough place to play. But listen, NDSU, Matt Entz, who's, oh, by the way, leaving to go to USC and become the linebacker coach, they are peaking at the right time. They didn't have a seat this year, North Dakota State. And they were just blowing through this playoff field. So I think that's going to be a heck of a game tomorrow up there in Montana.
Give me the Bison.
Yeah, listen, I can't argue against that. I just have a feeling Montana, that crowd, the weather, I think they're going to get it done. but I would not be surprised one way or the other, obviously. I am surprised at the score of this game tonight, as I believe you are as well, Jay. Just dominating performance tonight from South Dakota State.
Who could have seen this coming?
Yeah.
UAlbany goes to the backup quarterback for the final 3 minutes. I'll say, no matter who wins tomorrow, after this performance, South Dakota State will go in as the favorite, as they should. 28 straight wins.
And in case you're wondering, in the regular season, South Dakota State beat North Dakota State 33-16 back in early November, in case you're wondering. Obviously, both of them are Missouri Valley Football Conference schools. Montana plays in the Big Sky.
Hard running there to pick up the first down. UAlbany, despite the scoreboard, they haven't quit.
No.
The ball hasn't bounced their way. 4 turnovers really hurt them in that first half. But it wasn't a lack of effort tonight.
Yeah. Listen, they're playing hard, and then all these backups out here for South Dakota State, they don't want to give up this shutout, right? They want to keep the shutout, so they're going to play hard here. Or Aaron Kussler there at number 40 with a nice form tackle from the linebacker spot.
Reese Poffenberger, all he can do is watch. 3 interceptions in the first half. He's had a terrific season. Leads FCS in passing touchdowns, led this Great Danes program to their first ever FCS semifinal. They'll look back many years from now and be very proud of this season, but tonight belongs to South Dakota State. And if you're like me and this is your first time watching the Jackrabbits live, a team that doesn't get on national television all too often, you know why they have the longest winning streak in college football. It's not a fluke.
Oh, by the way, this is the first game in UAlbany history on national television tonight. So something I know they'll think about the next time they're on national television. You know, and listen, I've been a part of blowouts, and it stinks, right? It's just, but we talked about it earlier. They had a great season, didn't end the way they wanted to. You know, it can only end good for one team when it's all said and done. So, but they need to be proud. They need to keep their heads up because they had a heck of a season. Just ran into a great program here in Brookings.
Well, it's South Dakota State's hoping on January 7th. They are the one team that ends on a win with a trophy in their hands for the 2nd straight year. A dominant 59-0 win in the semifinal, and the Jackrabbits await the winner of Montana and North Dakota State. There's Larisha Harris with quarterback Mark Gronowski.
Mark, congratulations on an undefeated season. You said you were trying to create more memories with your teammates. How do you feel about what you guys did?
Man, this was just awesome today. It was pure domination. The 605 Hogs played awesome today, and just what a great feeling. What a great feeling.
How does it feel to be going back for a second time?
Man, it feels amazing. I mean, there's no place we'd rather be right now. We're going to go to Frisco, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun.
And what are you looking forward to most?
Just one more time with all the seniors and really just trying to enjoy our last couple moments together and really just have fun out there and just go dominate in Frisco.
Tonight, you guys were clicking on all cylinders. What do you think worked well?
Oh, man, it was awesome. And we were offensively, we just couldn't be stopped all day. 605 Hogs were playing awesome. They were giving me so much time. Jaden Yonke was making awesome plays. And Isaiah Davis, what a great running back. And it was just great all day.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Giving love to the 605 Hogs. Of course, that's his offensive line. 59-0. South Dakota State headed to the FCS championship for the third time in the last 4 seasons, looking for back-to-back titles.
You know, when you have the Missouri Valley Football Conference Offensive Players of the Year in the same backfield, and then they play the way they did tonight, and you see Gronowski there early on with his feet with a nice run, and then just making all the throws. There's Jaden Yonke, one of the twins, and then the big tight end, Zach Hines, had a heck of a night. And there's Jaden Yonke again. Gronowski, there's the big tight end. Just, again, we've said it a ton of times, clicking on all cylinders. That offense did whatever they wanted tonight.
The Jackrabbits have booked their spot January 7th, 2 Eastern time on ABC. They await the winner of Montana, North Dakota State. That is tomorrow right here on ESPN2 at 4:30 Eastern time. There's a terrific college basketball game about to come your way. Gonzaga and UConn. You do not want to miss it in Seattle. So we got bowl season kicking off tomorrow, the FCS semifinals tonight, and basketball coming your way in 30 seconds.
Good night, partner. I had fun. Not really what we expected, but kudos to South Dakota State. Dominant performance.
No doubt about it. Jackrabbits, wire to wire, 59-0 over UAlbany to win the FCS semifinal. For Rini Ngolia, Larisha Harris, our terrific crew. I'm Jay Alter saying so long from Brookings. Let's get you to some basketball. Gonzaga and UConn.